Hi, it's Steve from PartSelect. Today we're going to show you how to change the rear drum bearing kit on your dryer. It's a pretty easy job. Going to need a few tools. You need a number 2 Robertson square head screwdriver or a Phillips screwdriver, 5/16 nut driver, and a number 25 Torks bit, and a 3/4 inch or 19mm socket with a short extension. Let me show you how it's done. First step in this repair will be to disconnect the power to the dryer. If it has a plug on it, just disconnect it from the receptacle. If it's hardwired, we need to turn off the breaker or the disconnect switch. Next, we need to remove the front of the dryer. To gain access to that, we have to take this trim panel off the back of the console. There's 3 Robertson/Phillips screws. Once we remove that, we'll take the top off and then the front. Two long screws that hold the top on. Lift up on the front of the top, pull it forward, and it will lift out of place. Next, we need to disconnect wires to the sensor and door switch. Should locate it on the left-hand side here. Just disconnect those. We're ready to remove the front. One screw in each end of the brace that holds the control panel in place. Simply lift up on this. Lay it across the top of the cabinet. Those are the 2 wires that we needed to disconnect for the sensor and the door switch circuit. Next, we have 2 screws in the top corner. There are also 2 on the bottom that just need to be loosened. The top 2 need to come out. Pull forward on the front panel. And then lift it free with the 2 screws on the bottom. next step will be to disconnect the belt from the idler pulley and the motor pulley. So we'll put one hand in on the left side of the drum, one underneath the center, so you can feel the belt and the idler pulley. Just put some more tension on the idler pulley, roll the belt off of it. Release the belt. Now we can lift the drum out of the rear bearing. It's a little snug coming through the front of the cabinet. Gives us access to the bearing mount on the drum. Next, we're going to remove the complete element housing that holds the bearing housing. To do that, you have two choices. You can either disconnect all of the wires to the element housing. What I find is a little easier is to release the wire tabs that hold the harness to the back of the cabinet. Just simply depress those from the back of the cabinet, push them in through, and that'll give us enough room to pull the element housing far enough forward. Four screws that hold the housing to the back of the cabinet. Remove those. Take caution not to damage the element. Support the housing when you remove the last screw. It will give us enough access. We can remove these four screws that hold the rear bearing housing. Take the new housing, which comes complete with 4 new screws, so we'll use the new screws on the housing. We'll locate the spring clamp exactly the same as it is on the original. It will line up with one screw hole in the back. Before we attempt to mount that rear bearing housing, I suggest you take one of the screws supplied and cut some new threads in each of the 4 holes. It'll make mounting it a whole lot easier. So position the bearing housing in its place. Just take one screw, start the threads by hand just to hold it in place. Our 5/16 nut driver will snug all of those screws firmly. Now we're ready to mount the element housing back onto the back wall. So locate one of the screw holes in the rear cabinet. Tighten all 4 screws firmly. Make sure the element's not touching the metal bracket at any place. Then we can reinsert all the retaining clips for the wire harness, snap them back into place.